Welcome to the best movies of 2025 so far here on the Intercut podcast channel. I am your co-host, Zachary Shevich, and joining me, the smoke to my stack, it's Arturo Zurita.
We cousins.
And maybe the biggest sinner amongst us, we've also got Amanda the Jedi.
That's homophobic.
I call it like I see him. It is halfway through 2025, and we are looking back at the year that movies have offered us so far. Halfway through the quarter year of the century. Amanda, how is 2025 as a movie year looking to you so far?
Man, it's in a lot of ways it's really strong, but then some of that's really strong because we know what's coming. We've seen some stuff that's really good, but some of that stuff is starting to come out now, which is really cool and great to see. But as is pretty typical with my best of the year so far list, there's just a bunch of stuff at the bottom that is so interchangeable with stuff that's not quite on the list. So we're just kind of going through things, and then it's that end of the year where we really work hard to solidify it down. But there's a handful of movies on this best so far list that could go the full distance to the end of the year.
There's a couple there. I agree.
Yeah, no, I definitely think this is the most difficulty I've had getting to 10 at a midway list. Like, there's a bunch of movies I liked, not a lot that I've really loved in a way where I want to put them on a top 10 list. But at the same time, as maybe underwhelming as some of the first half of the year offerings have been, we have the benefit of having gone to a couple film festivals and knowing there's a lot of stuff that's right around the corner that's going to really change things, really shake up these lists. Unfortunately, we can't put some of those movies on these lists, but we still found
try
some.
As art might have.
Make a call. You never know.
I think it's too clear in the other direction. I'm so sorry.
But off of what both you guys are saying, this may be the strongest upcoming list of movies that we've already seen. I feel like I have a complete other top 10 from the festival movies that we've caught so far. And that's not even counting The Odyssey. I think your boy PTA is making a movie. All these other things that are coming out in the second half of the year, which are going to be incredible. But it's
Odyssey's going to be next year. But one battle after another.
Year?
The Paul Thomas Anderson movie is this year.
People have been saying amazing things about the new Trier movie.
Yeah, we didn't get to go to Cannes, but there's a whole bunch of movies that looked good at Cannes. Sentimental Value was the one that you were talking about. Yeah. There's the one with Dakota Johnson and Adria Arjona that I'm also looking forward to.
Yes, Splitsville.
Splitsville, thank you for that. Just cycling through some of the other movies that we have seen that we're excited for more people to get to see when they come out later this year. It's stuff like If I Had Legs, I'd Kick You. It's stuff like Lurker. It's stuff like Together, Train Dreams, Nirvana the band, the show, the movie.
Yes.
Hopefully the Rivals of Mzaya King. Nobody's picked that one up yet.
God,
Nobody.
Weird.
And
Baltimorans.
Absolutely, yeah.
Do we pick up Rivals of Mzaya King? Do we pool our funds?
I think we need to.
I think we need to.
Yeah.
I think we need to make
funds.
I'll check the AdSense. Maybe we can get some McConaughey money together.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
That's got to be a bid battle.
We got the production already.
We got the production already.
Arturo, looking at your list, we've had some hilarious comedies, some touching personal dramas, a few blockbuster action movies in 2025. Is there a genre or a style of movie you're missing, or do you like your sampler platter from 2025 movie genres?
I think I like it so far. Maybe if anything, it's the sub-genres to it. So none of these are romances, but they have romance plots to them. But, they all look like cinema to me right now.
That's what's important. In a little bit, we will talk about the best cinema of 2025 so far. But first, make sure you're subscribed to the Intercut podcast, either the video podcast on youtube.com/intercutpod or the audio podcast available on most podcatchers. Also, follow Intercut on social media, whether it's Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram. We are at IntercutPod. That's at IntercutPod, and that is short for podcast. You can also support the show for as little as $3 a month on YouTube by clicking the join button on our page below the video to become a member, or going to patreon.com/intercutpod and signing up to join the Intercuties, which gets you access to early episodes like this one before they're available to the public, the ability to help us decide on future episodes of the show, and an invitation to our monthly Intercutie video chats where we talk about the latest in movies, TV, and more. Also, be sure to leave us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts or on Spotify, because if we get to 250 5-star reviews on Apple, we will open up a boutique matchmaking service exclusively available to Intercuties.
Oh.
Yeah, I think there's some future in that, right? It's shared common interests. I mean, has there ever been a dating app that tries to match people based on film taste comparability? Maybe that's an avenue for Letterboxd in the future.
Letterboxd is right there. They've got it going, bro. Connect you with someone with a similar top 5 or top 4.
Exactly. Yeah.
Just saying.
We got to put in a word to our people. Maybe Jeremiah can help us out with the connections at Letterboxd.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right.
Best dates, too. You ain't got to talk to them for 2 hours. But yeah, keep going.
All right, let's talk about the best movies that 2025 has had to offer so far. Art, you started off our TV list, so I will get us started for the movies. And I'm going to go with, at number 10, a film that we saw first at South by Southwest last year, I want to say. But one that's lingered in my mind a bit, a documentary, and that is Secret Mall Apartment.
That did come
really
out.
interesting film, a peculiar film about a group of friends who find a crevice in their local mall to build a secret apartment in. A bunch of young people in Rhode Island in the early 2000s. And this apartment sort of becomes partly like youthful oasis hangout and partly like artistic statement. Part of the joy of this documentary is just watching people get away with a thing and the incredible footage that they somehow were able to salvage throughout this process. Like, for doing a thing that would at least theoretically get you in all kinds of trouble, they managed to film themselves doing so much of it. But also,
that's impressive, yeah.
I think one of the really joyful things about it too is the ways in which they extend the thought to all these different logical conclusions. Like, what does it mean to exist in public in this way, or put this, create this space that's sort of subverting the rules? Like, is this art? What is art? And things like that. So I just like the mind space that this documentary occupies. I think it's a pretty enjoyable watch, and I thought it was a really thoughtful piece from the director Jeremy Workman. So really have not forgotten about this movie since we first saw it, and now that it's available for more people to catch up with, I hope people give it a shot.
Nice.
Great pick. Jesse Eisenberg, producer as well.
Awesome. So this, Secret Mall Apartment, number 10 on my list. Amanda, would you like to go next?
Yeah, I'll go next. This has been tough. This is probably going to seem really low down on my list, but it's one I really need to revisit. I feel like I was kind of in a weird jet lag mood when I saw it. But I'm going to go with Wes Anderson's The Phoenician Scheme. It's really cool. It's got a lot of really good ideas. It's got that style you expect. It's just that Asteroid City hit me so hard in the feels when I saw it that I knew going into it, I'm like, this movie is not going to make me appreciate life the way that this movie did, so it'll never hit as hard. But there's just something so cozy about a Wes Anderson movie. You get a great cast in this one. Lots of quirky stuff. I also got to go to that Wes Anderson museum not long after seeing this movie, so I was just really steeped in the Wes.
I'm really jealous of you for that. That seems like a really fun experience. Yeah,
it's doing London next, and then I think Mexico City, oddly enough. I don't think the U.S. is getting it for whatever reason. So to go to Mexico, you got to go see Kendrick.
Yeah.
And then Wes Anderson.
All right, we're planning a trip. We're doing a trip.
There you go.
I don't even think they're Mexican, bro. So we're doing nothing Mexican related.
Exactly. That's exactly it. But it's fine. Yeah, super cool movie. Pretty much if you like Wes Anderson, I can't imagine not enjoying this to some degree. Again, this is one of a polarizing one, but like it a hell of a lot more than The French Dispatch. No offense.
Me too. I'm a defender of that one.
Good. No, I'm not.
Bro,
I'm
he kind of looks like his role in The French Dispatch. When he goes into those heaven scenes, he looks like the painter. Yes,
I was like, whoa, this is all the same.
Yeah.
But no, it's cool. Definitely want to check it out again, but I had to include it on the list for sure because, no one really does it quite like Wes.
Absolutely. We take Wes Anderson for granted. I have the Phoenician Scheme at number 6 on my list. It is so delightful. Have it higher.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I, like you, really want to revisit this one. I still only had the chance to see it once, and I think it's one that will lend itself to revisiting it, diving into its little details, because, like any Wes Anderson film, they're so immaculately crafted that it's so easy to miss a small joke or a small character detail just hidden in the canvas of his, painter-like films.
That's exactly it.
It's also just fun to sort of see him play in, while this is still familiar to people familiar with Wes Anderson movies, it is slightly a different tone. This sort of like action, comedy, crime caper of sorts.
I like that.
Me too.
Benicio del Toro is so fun in this like schemy role, fast talking his way through this movie.
Yeah.
Seeing him work with Michael Cera.
I was literally about to say Michael Cera just seems like why hasn't he been in a Wes Anderson movie yet?
Right?
He speaks the language so fluently.
Yeah.
Multiple ways.
Drunk off 2 beers.
They got him to shave his beard. That's like he didn't even give that up for Kristen Stewart. Like,
yeah, very good.
Good job, Wes Anderson.
It's just a really, really fun movie, and I don't know if it'll hit me the way that Asteroid City did ultimately, but I still think there's a lot to appreciate and enjoy about the Phoenician Scheme.
Absolutely, yeah.
Shout out Mia too. She's the co-star.
Yes,
and is Kate Winslet's freaking daughter. You stare at her, you look at it, you're like, are you somebody's?
You get it?
Yeah,
she's one of the ones that tried to shy away from it. I don't really, I don't respect the ones that shy away from it as much. And I'm like, your mom's Kate Winslet, and you're going by your dad's last name.
Come on,
you're going by your dad's last name. Okay,
bro, spitting image of her dad.
Truly.
Spitting image of her dad. Hopefully she has her mom's acting chops.
Yes.
She's starting here.
She's kind of got her mom's voice a little bit too.
Yeah.
Like that's what it is. You start hearing it a little bit, but I liked it.
Yeah.
I liked it.
Everyone's like fawning over her in the movie.
Yes, Thrippleton. To be fair, good name.
Yeah. It's decent. It's good.
Thrippleton. Yeah. It stands out.
There's a basketball scene in this film with Riz Ahmed. And I'm telling you this right now. Sports movie by Wes Anderson, I need it.
I was gonna say,
watch the fuck out of that.
Wes Anderson's Hoosiers would bang.
Yes. Hell yeah, bro.
Oh my god.
No, I want to see that. I would really want to see that. That'd be awesome.
Yeah. All right. Amanda's number 10, The Phoenician Scheme. My number 6. Let's go back to Arturo for your number 10.
Look, I got a lot of stuff we saw at festivals, and I'm going to keep in the honorable mention. Some stuff that I actually need to rewatch as well. So I'm going very popcorny here. It's been a minute since I've had one. But Thunderbolts, I think, is going to be higher on this list for
no, it's
for
actually
one of us
not.
for sure.
It's actually not.
Really?
You gonna make me?
Maybe it should be. Maybe
you
it
gonna
should
make me the only Marvel lover in this.
I got bullied too hard, man. So really, it was gonna be. Yeah, they were like, how much did you get paid?
Disney shill Amanda the Jedi.
Truly,
Jedi in her name.
Damn. Nah.
She doesn't talk about Star Wars because you can't be mean to it.
Screw them. This taught me what depression is. So depression is this Funko Pop that draws you in.
Look, if shrinking hadn't made me go to therapy, Thunderbolts would have done it. So.
Hey, Thunderbolts, asterisk, y'all know what it is at this point.
Yeah.
It's one of those ones that slips through the cracks. It's one of those that's actually like a decent movie.
Actually
that
worth
gets
it.
Yeah, that gets it's caped in this Marvel superhero lore. I think it works. I like the humor in it. I think the characters are very interesting. And I really like the director. The director who came off of Beef and working on a couple of other projects.
Yeah.
Is also slated, to do the next X-Men.
That's when I literally began to have faith in the next X-Men movie, because everything they've been doing, I was like,
That's it for me.
Stop. Leave my babies alone.
Yeah.
You know?
Look, this isn't one that's going to make it to the end of the year for me, but I was pleasantly surprised by Thunderbolts out of all the things that we have had. I am not a Marvel hater, but I do have Marvel fatigue.
Yes.
I enjoyed what they had going on here. I think the characters were very interesting. I'm curious to see where they expand upon it. I like how it answers even in the end. Yeah. Things that people were going to have backlash for.
Yes.
And he goes places. I think the little snap, there's a one involving a girl.
that was so good.
Little moments like that I was like, wow, I haven't seen something like this in a minute that you can get away with in a Marvel movie like this. But no, Thunderbolts, I had a very enjoyable time with it. Caught it multiple times in theaters, and hey, it's a number 10 right now.
Nice.
Yeah, we got a longer review on the channel, but it's definitely the best offering we've got from the MCU in at least
years?
a bit.
Years?
Yeah.
Come on. Years?
A lot of hopeful signs in that one for sure, especially if Jake Schreier, as you mentioned, is going to continue to work within Marvel movies. So, yeah, a really solid one. I can't really argue against Thunderbolts being in the top 10.
It's literally just one of those ones that's circling my 10. It's just one of those.
An honorable mention. I even have it in my honorable mention, so no shame.
There you go.
Yeah.
You guys are going to be really mad. What's my 11?
What was your 11?
You guys will have it both in your top 10.
Well, we will find out. For now, Art's 10 is Thunderbolts asterisk. My number 9, I'm going to go with the movie we all saw together. Mickey 17.
Hell
the
yeah.
latest from Bong Joon-ho. I don't know if any of you have this in your top 10s as well.
Circling my 10.
Guess is... It's in the mentions of the honorable mentions of the mentions.
It's one I need to revisit.
Yeah. Look, nobody's arguing that this is Bong Joon-ho's best movie or even one of his best movies.
It's not even his best American movie.
It's not even his best American movie. I just happen to really be entertained by the goofy, cartoonish tone that some of his sci-fi films, like this one, like Okja, take. I just find it really, silly and fun, also set against an interesting backdrop. This whole world of this dystopian future society where Robert Pattinson takes on the role of this expendable, literally, character.
He's great.
It allows for a lot of goofy antics, a lot of them through Robert Pattinson's voice acting.
Yeah, he's so
here.
Good.
I mean, he just it's so great when he finds these really dumb nuances to his characters and just adopts a silly voice and is weirdly entertaining. I don't know.
He's so good.
I enjoy it. I think it's really beautifully realized. I think it feels like a full world that I would be willing to see a lot deeper lore about or a whole series about. It has some pretty surface level dystopian takeaways about the expendability of poorer classed people, but it's still a very enjoyable ride. I enjoyed it. I have a good time watching a Bong Joon-ho movie.
Me too.
Sue me. Mickey 17. I got that at 9. I got that at 9th on my list.
Yeah. Again, it should probably be on my list. It's just hard sometimes. There's a lot that are all kind of in that same zone.
All right. What did make your list at number 9, Amanda?
I went with one that I had missed out a TIFF, but just caught recently. I don't know if it's actually even available to watch here yet, but it's called A Normal Family, which is based on the same book that The Dinner that came out in 2017 is about.
Damn,
this is technically the 4th iteration of this book, but I feel like something about how they brought it to life as a Korean drama works really well for it. Because The Dinner was fine, but really not good. It kind of just fell victim to just American Hollywood movie weirdness. This is a genuinely really good movie where it's two wealthy families kind of meeting up to deal with these horrific crimes their children committed and trying to figure out how to deal with it, how to get out of it. What can you do to get your kids out of it? Is that even possible? How much deeper might you have to go?
Where can we shift it?
What can we shift? How much deeper do we have to go to kind of make this not seem as bad as it is? Who can we push it on? It's really good. Really good.
Fantastic. I think this is going to be the year of a lot of those things. What was the other one? Hollow Road?
Oh yeah, Hollow Road.
It's not so much are they guilty or anything like that, but it's the idea of like,
what are you gonna?
Yeah, a normal family's tagline is, "My child has committed a murder.
Yeah.
What choice do I have?" And it's like, it could be my child's in an incident. Will I get there in time? Whatever it is, it's this like anxiety of being a parent where your kid's in a scenario and you don't know how to move it.
And what
is your responsibility?
And then add in the fact that they're wealthy. So like, what morally, what ethically can you do with that money to like?
Pick. Great pick.
Solid. Yeah.
Very cool. Very exciting pick. Nice. A normal family. Amanda's number 9. Art, what do you have at 9 on your list?
At number 9, I'm moving up with that 40X IMAX Dolby exclusive movie over here. F1 baby. Look, they've been calling it Top Gun on wheels.
I'll take it.
It's Maverick Light. It's fun, bro. It is exciting. Everyone knows Carrie Condon is great at what she does. This is her in a massive role. They let her keep the accent over
Didn't even know she was in it.
Yeah, she's great. So I heard someone say that they had a bet going on. They thought it was Rebecca Ferguson. No, it is Carrie Condon. You got
also great.
Brad Pitt just being Brad Pitt. He's just in this era of like, I'm just trying to be me, just be as cool as I can possibly be. Javier Bardem is the owner who's bringing him back in. And it's in this fictional world, very much kind of like Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, where it's like he was a character that is supposed to be in real Hollywood. This is F1 and a team that was created from scratch, meaning that they filmed during the actual F1 stuff. It's all a big ad. We know this. It's all a ginormous ad for F1, for Apple, for all that. But it's done so impeccably well that they were filming in between the actual races. When they're like lining up, they were like that Drake meme where they just hurry, get in the shot so that they look like they're a part of one of the real scenes, and it works so well. The IMAX is beautiful. The 40X messed up my back, and the Dolby. I know Zach's a big fan of Dolby. Well, I'm not gonna lie, it may be the preferred choice here. As cool as the IMAX scenes look, you feel the engine in the Dolby more than anything else. Damn. The 40X throws you around everywhere, but it's a very simple story. Idris, his character is so likable in my opinion because he's just a whippersnapper who doesn't know what he's doing, but he's got this killer smile no matter what.
Nice.
It works very well. It's exciting. The cars go vroom, and I think it's worth the rewatch as well. Leading up to July 4th weekend is perfect marketing for it as well. One of the best things that I found out is since the whole thing is fictional, their whole like line that they create, the whole premise is you got to come race for us because our company's going to shut down and we can't even get a win. All the ads in the movie, all the product placements are the product placements on the car.
Oh yeah, they funny.
Just sold everything to be on the suits, and that's how they paid for the movie, the soundtrack, and everything else. He wastes nothing. Just Joseph Krasinski, man. I know some people think he's like a machine, but like, wow. He's a well-oiled machine is what I'm going to say about Joseph Krasinski.
Hell yeah.
Do you think now, after having directed Top Gun Maverick and using a lot of the same technology to make F1 seem so epic, like, would you put Joseph Kosinski on that same level of you gotta go see it in a movie theater with guys like Nolan, guys like Peele, guys like Spielberg, or is he not quite there in your eyes?
If he's not there, we got to give him the respect he deserves, and he's right at that level. He's right at the door knocking like sinners, bro. He's saying, let me in. You kind of have to. The stuff he's creating, like, it's new technology every single time. He was like, we had the IMAX cameras on the planes, but now we needed them smaller on an F1 car. But I can get them to swivel. And he's so giddy about that. And you see it in the movie, and it's like, yeah, the swivel shot adds so much to see the driver. And then it cuts to the actual field. I don't know. If you have Brad Pitt going 180 miles an hour while he's acting, yeah, you kind of do have to buy a ticket for that. So
a little bit.
Yeah, he's getting up there.
Excited to catch up with it.
But the story-wise ain't bad. It's just simple. The execution is freaking phenomenal. So F1 for now.
Love it.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes you just need something on a gigantic screen to blow you away. And what better than really fast cars, right? I'm looking forward to seeing it. All right, so Art's got F1, the movie, the movie, at number 9 on his list. For number 8 on my list, I'm going to go with 28 Years Later.
Ooh.
We haven't had a chance to discuss this as a group yet.
High up on Zach's list.
Yeah. Is this coming up on your list, Art, or you didn't have it in the top 10?
I went honorable. We were talking about a director who's got 2 movies out there.
Yeah.
And the writer from this one also having a big contender. Those were above it in my honorables bit.
I was going to cheat.
I was
going to cheat. I'm going to do Warfare 2018.
Oh, that was yours?
No, I have two.
Okay, we're still talking about the other guy.
We're still talking about the other guy.
Yeah. You got a lot of twofers here, but I'm surprised. Tell me more, because this is a little different than your average horror.
Yes. Yeah, and I think one of the things that's really interesting about the 28 years series, or 28 Zombies series, whatever you want to call it.
Blank later.
There we go. The 28 later series is that I feel like Danny Boyle has always found these ways to look forward visually in ways that also are diegetic in terms of the way they feel like they naturally evolved from the film, right? Like his use of camcorders and stuff for
DV cameras for like the vibe, and to be able to get into tight spaces in like London that you wouldn't have been able to otherwise.
Right? And that sort of has been one of the things that really drew me to those films. So in hearing about the production of 28 years later and hearing that they were using iPhones, I was a little disappointed at first, because like there have been lots of directors who've made iPhone movies at this point, right? Sean Baker's Tangerine is one of my favorites. I didn't know quite what he meant though, because when you see those behind the scenes images of those,
insane.
What is it, like
the
180
panorama
halos?
180?
Yeah, and not just that, but then you see how it is implemented in the film.
Yeah.
This is one of the most forward-thinking digital instances of digital photography that I can think of, especially in a film of this scale. Like, it just has a frenetic movement to it that is so unusual for blockbusters, not just how it's shot, but how it's edited, the use of archival footage and those infrared cameras.
Was crazy. Just split in.
Yeah, it is just like a such an overwhelming feast of visuals. I kind of put it almost on the same plane as movies like Mad Max Fury Road, right? Because it's just sort of throwing all these images at you in ways that might not ordinarily make sense, but speak to the sort of nervy feeling of the story. They really like the way they're cut becomes the tone of the film.
Yeah. Yes. And gives you kind of indication of what to expect later. It's like you see all this stuff happening and they're like putting video of Hitler Youth, and you're like, where are we going with this, guys? Where is part 2 going? You know?
Yeah. It is a really, really fascinating film. It makes a lot of bold choices, much bolder choices than I think we're used to seeing in the zombie subgenre.
True.
And it's stuff that really made me much more excited than I anticipated being by this movie. So I
very smart.
Needed to find some room for it on my list.
That's fair. I'll talk about it a little bit now too, versus my cheating later. But yeah, it's a lot of it's very British. It is a very British movie, which is great. And I do find that compared to like a 28 Days Later, this really has a lot of the hallmarks of what like Alex Garland is as a writer. This has
especially
a lot
right now.
This feels a lot like, honestly, Men. There's certain aspects of this movie. This reminded me of the weird quirkiness of what was going on with Men. In this,
it's also fascinating because like you can really feel Alex Garland in it, but it speaks to how great he and Boyle are as collaborators, because you have a little bit of Danny Boyle kind of softening some of Garland's harder edges in ways.
You heard about their Sunshine thing? That after Sunshine, they did not talk for like how long? And
like
then like,
they
had a big push and pull, and he goes, what changed was I went and became a director and realized, I need to know my place as a writer.
Yeah.
And now they came back to work. And I think that's them coming in and working even better with each other, because he's like, I thought it was going to be different. It's the same thing, but now we respect each other more. Yeah. And it works so well.
It works.
I think they're able to jump off of a lot of the stuff that he was going for in Civil War. Even
Absolutely.
Warfare. One of the funny things was that poem, the
Boots.
How does it go?
Boots.
Walking up and down again. Boots.
Yeah,
that came from the trailers?
Yeah.
A trailer guy put that in, and then they're like, put it in the movie.
It's too good. We got to get it in the movie. Because it matches so perfect with that historic footage. It's crazy.
And then he says, Garland, that his kid told him, you do know, what's his name from Warfare, the other director,
Ray Mendoza?
Ray Mendoza.
That's what they trained with? And he's like, what? He calls up Ray, and he realized, like, I'm working on the same movie every single time I'm working on a movie. And I was like, that's so funny. I'm going to do one of my tangents, Zach. La Jette.
Tange. Yeah.
Or how do you say that one? The time travel short film from 1962.
La Jetée, I want to say.
That one, yeah.
The one that inspired 12 Monkeys as well, right?
Yes, sir. I'm excited because Amanda's our professional.
Yeah, she's our
translator
French
right
pronunciation
there.
guide.
I got the Google link right there. Let me know. It's got the accent mark and everything. This movie is a time travel.
La Jetée?
La Jetée?
Yeah.
So every time I go, so in the movie, La Jetée, it's all stills. And with them being stills, they're kind of showing you time travel in the sense of like, this is the story of going from point A to point B, but don't you fill it in? That Inception type thing of, are you in a dream? Just like in a movie, you start in a place. When Zach was talking about the freeze frame photography for the iPhones, I thought that's genius because it's not just a movie talking about nostalgia, talking about what happens when a society is rebuilding off of old things. You see the Queen Elizabeth and everything else. Yeah. But it's how do you shoot a movie to begin with? Because Nia DaCosta directing the next one isn't an accident. It's been very interesting talking about how he doesn't want to do Slumdog anymore.
Right.
Because he's like, I'm not from there, but you're going to have Nia DaCosta do the next one, even though she's a New Yorker covering the UK. And I think there's a reasoning for that. Because he was saying that the reason they shot the first one with DV cameras was to be able to fit it in places, but that it was a technology people can use over film. Yeah. And now digitally shooting this one with smaller cameras and showing anyone can shoot something with the ideas that the Matrix had back in the day that would require so much money. You can do it with 28 iPhones if you wanted to. But the fact that they do a lot of the most gruesome scenes in frames is genius. It's showcasing to you that not even in motion are you able to catch this violence, but instead capturing what would be the 24 frames in a picture lock almost. And would that not also be a moving image? The way that he's also dissecting how to make a movie, I think, is fascinating. You had mentioned the like gaming. The hunt cameras, because that's how the zombies would see it. Because he now has alphas in it. He has this whole hierarchy that he's created of this virus not just being zombies, but a sickness people have.
Which has kind of always been the distinct, because I even said, I call it a zombie thing, but I like technical, and then of course you get all the, well, actually, and I'm like, that's why I already said that. He said
zombie in the movie. He got caught with that, because I think the soldier says they're zombies or something like that.
It's like, what's a zombie?
Whatever it is, we get it, whatever we call it, but it's for this world. It works so well. It's a very smart metaphor, what the rage virus is supposed to be. The ending is so wonky. But I'm so intrigued to see how they're going to build it up because I think it's going to be some like Negan Walking Dead type stuff. Yeah, it's going to be very good. It's a good zombie movie. It's a good drama, but it's also like the filmmaking, as Zach was breaking down, is very smart because they're trying to almost deconstruct how can you even shoot a movie to begin with. It's fantastic.
No, it's crazy.
Also, one of the best movies we've got about Brexit yet. So
that's exactly it. Like it's crazy. I just like how they brought it back to they basically said like, look, whatever they said in 28 weeks later, we're just going to say we pushed it back. We don't care. We don't care about what happens when this infection gets to Paris. We pushed it back. It's fine. I really like that they've just kind of created this insulated world that opens them up to so many things of like our humanity as a species that we would literally write off an entire country.
Bro. And that's what, because that's what he was saying with Civil War. But he said it about America, so Americans were like, don't talk about us that way. He goes, okay, I'm going to do the same exact thing, but it's the UK. What happens if America was in a civil war and we ignored it? What if the UK went through a zombie apocalypse? What would the rest of the world do?
What would the rest of the world do?
Ignore it.
Do whatever they can to just keep it insulated. But then, so
quarantine
there's actually, I don't know if you caught, there is an interactive website for this one too.
The ARG
the stuff, rageleaks.net. Yeah. So it actually has a bunch of other stuff where there's just like, you can tell there's scientists still working on things. And you get the idea that someone's trying to get there that they, that it might actually spread off of Britain, but I wouldn't be surprised if they just kept it there because that's the more interesting look at this story. It's really looking at like kind of our own society is the idea is that like the Spike is this kid who's being brought up in a world that should have been so like steeped in death, but doesn't actually have an understanding of death somehow. Yeah. And everything's just being built off of this like forgotten culture.
Yeah, they saw the Queen.
That's kind of what's happening. That kind of is happening to kids now. They're kind of being... brought up in these weird times where parents are trying to ignore all of the crazy shit that's been going on for the last 20, 30 years. They're going back and they're finding analog tech and getting falling in love with it, even though they have the capability of interacting with all of this shit in more convenient ways. But they're going out and finding cell phones. They're bringing digital cameras to the clubs again. Yeah. It's just
I've been seeing so many cyber shots of games, bro.
It's they pull crazy. Out the cyber shot. They're pulling out the cyber shots. Yeah, it's crazy. So it's just kind of interesting to see how it reflects culture going around. Yeah.
The 80s was a big thing. I think when we had started doing a lot of YouTube stuff, it was everything's an 80s ripoff. Now everything's a 90s ripoff. We just move on to
love it.
Right? I love it. I'm not going to
speaking our language finally.
But I'm also trying to take my bias out of it. I was we really are relying on this now that the filmmakers who were raised in the 90s are the ones in charge and stuff. Yeah. So, it's really good. Zach had mentioned Brexit, and I heard him talk a little bit where it's Brexit pretty much is, make Britain great again. And he was saying all these make something great again is you not wanting to look forward. It's you wanting to look at the past. And the thing about the past is that you always misremember it. You sugarcoat it.
Rose-tinted glasses.
Exactly. You see what you want to. What do you do when your whole identity, especially there as a nation, is tied to it? And what does the island become if not a frozen UK?
Frozen
UK, make
corn.
Britain great again type thing. It's a very smart movie. Good pick, Zach. I'm very surprised. Wow, horror movie on the top 10, baby.
Yeah, makes sense though.
You know me. I love them scares. I love being being frightened.
It was that alpha, huh?
Yeah. Big dog over here.
Everyone's got every dude who comments on that. I'm like, bro, you are exposing yourself.
Yep.
Why would you bring this up, bro?
Yeah, too much.
My pick, number 8, 20 years later. We all seem to have very deep feelings for this one, though.
Yeah, a lot of thoughts.
Amanda, what movie did you have deep enough feelings for to put at 8 on your list?
Just because it was really unique and I saw it kind of recently, I'm going to go with Pavements, which is cool hybrid doc about the band Pavement.
Art, you got this on your list? I know you were a big fan of it, too.
I put no docs. I got my top 10 docs afterwards. But hell yeah, that's in my top 10.
This is one of those that I was debating on giving that number 10 slot for. So yeah, we all were fans of it.
You guys had mentioned something earlier that actually reminded me of Pavements when you were mentioning, the museum, about do you live a life worthy enough or your artistry is big enough that people would come to a museum full of your random items like she did for Wes Anderson. And they're traveling with that one. And there's a bit of that in this documentary as well, where you're kind of learning about the band, but it's not so much a documentary about the band as it is. Yeah. Zach had pitched. I was mentioning the museum bit and how you went to the Wes Anderson Museum and you said who can have such a life where you'd come see these random things and they kind of built that. I don't know them that much outside of the doc, so I have a completely different perspective from you two maybe approaching it. But when Zach had pitched it to me of I think they're pulling a prank on your boy. Kiri?
Joe Kiri?
I'm still so confused how much they're in on it, how much they're not. I really don't know, but I was fascinated by the doc.
Yeah, it's very interesting. It's the kind of thing that most people wouldn't even take the risk on creating, especially for a band like Pavement.
It's very smart, yeah.
But
I've been quoting this one a lot.
Yeah. It feels like it's in the spirit of the band because it is this really deconstructionist take on a bio-doc and the sort of hagiographic treatment that a lot of these bands get in these documentaries. It's really trying to subvert all of that and make fun of the tropes while at the same time do some of them.
Yes.
I mean, it's mostly that that whole strange balance that they strike between actually honoring Pavement and introducing people who maybe haven't heard the band or heard of the band to who they are and what they did, while poking fun at the patterns that these movies always indulge.
Yeah.
The idea
it's
is
so
that
interesting.
they want to make a documentary, but in making the documentary, that's not enough. They also need to make what American Idiot did, which was a stage play musical, and then a biopic, and then the museum, and it's the idea of this is what it's supposed to be, right? Just 28 years, that's a big thing Alex Garland's been talking about. Am I doing it for the right reasons? And that's the entire peril in this documentary. Is it worth it? Is it not?
Yeah. What's
that
the
whole
point
segment
of any of
about
this?
Selling out, and where do you toe the line of keeping the band afloat to making the band and what it's supposed to represent disappear? Super smart. Maybe my favorite thing from Alex Ross Perry.
It's really good. Yeah, that's the other thing I forgot to mention. Alex Ross Perry, already a fan. very interesting approach to this entirely.
Fascinating.
So again, even if you don't like biopics,
it's a foreign one.
Yeah, even if you don't like biopics, if you don't know Pavement, it's still interesting enough. I could see people watching this being like, is this even a real band? What is going on here?
Is this Spinal Tap?
Is this Spinal Tap? And like, does it going in the reverse order, you know?
It's real life Spinal Tap. It's it's unbelievable. But in all the goofiness, all these weird existential things, how can we turn the Pavement musics into a Broadway musical? You learn so much about the band. You learn why people like the band. You learn what they're going for. And damn, that's what a movie should be, is to get you a little bit closer to the band.
Yeah, it's great that it's able to both work as the thing that it is and subvert the thing that it is, right? Like it is a little bit of doing both at the same time in a really unique way.
Which is kind of necessary, because if you're just shitting on it, it just feels like, then why are you even making this? Like, I think to be a good representation of that, you have to both.
Right.
You have to love the thing. You have to love the thing you're poking fun at.
Yeah.
To some extent.
Or why are you wasting Pavement's time with this? Like it still feels like true to the band. So it's a really, really cool movie and a really unique approach too. So love Alex Ross Perry. Great pick there, Amanda, with Pavements. Art, what do you have at number 8?
A movie I believe you and I both caught at the end of the film festival run last year. It is out now this year. It is a heavy topic movie that begins almost as a comedy. I'm Becoming a Guinea Fowl. A24's release.
It did come out.
Look, this isn't going to be...
I got this one
You got it?
number 3 on my list.
Ooh.
Well,
I got to catch up with this one.
I'll just say a little log line and then we'll mention it later. It's not going to be for everybody, but it is a very interesting way of not just covering grief, but more so family secrets. And how those get passed down, and it does it in a very interesting way. We'll get to it later, and it's grown for me, to be honest, with you. Personal reasons and just the approach that they take in this movie is very, very interesting. So I'm Becoming a Guinea Fowl. Yeah,
definitely one of those movies that's like very hard to shake. It leaves an impact for sure. I liked it a lot. We'll talk about it in a bit. This is the art
that's maybe a little different than the movies you may watch. Like if you're an F1 connoisseur, obviously it's going to be different. I promise you, if you make the time for this one, some of it should stick with you.
Yeah. Cool. Glad you have it on your list. On Becoming a Guinea Fowl, number 8. My number 7, I'm going to guess that Amanda has it on her list. Do you have Materialists?
I do. That's my number 6.
Okay,
nope,
we can talk about
7.
it now.
It's my number 7.
Let's talk about it now then. Perfect.
Let's do it.
Materialists, the latest from Celine Song. I think we also want to get a bit deeper on this.
Yes.
When we do our monthly recap.
So we'll keep it short here.
Yeah, but it's another script from Celine Song, who is so good at navigating through these love triangles of sorts, or will she, won't she's, I guess. Here with Dakota Johnson playing a boutique matchmaker in New York, choosing between the dapper Pedro Pascal and her old flame and Chris Evans. I think, where this movie really shines is in a way similar to Past Lives, in that there'll just be these really incisive lines where they're like almost bordering on philosophical takeaways of human existence. And it just feels like a luxury to have them in this kind of like, chipper romance film of sorts, and then you have all these really profound takeaways too. I think it's a really interesting dissection of dating culture that has a little bit more of a emphasis on the practical realities of settling down and partnering up,
like who should you be with versus who you want to be with, and what matters and what doesn't matter, and like how much of it is a transaction and not a transaction.
And they're brutally honest.
They're very brutally honest. Yeah.
Look, and as a former math kid, like I can definitely get with putting it all into equations to try and figure it out. I don't know. I was pretty charmed by Materialists. Amanda, you seem to be as well. Yeah.
Yeah, I did really like it. I was hoping to like it maybe a little bit more. I'm kind of weird in that I think I honestly think Chris Evans, the dynamic there worked better when he was just yearning or pining versus them actually in practice being together. Because I'm watching it and I'm like, I don't care what they're telling me. She does have better chemistry with Pedro Pascal. That does actually seem to make more sense to me, even from the passion side of things. But I appreciate the story they were telling. I don't know why. I like Chris Evans a lot, but I don't know. I guess maybe I also just don't. I just don't know if I believe Chris Evans as someone who's like sharing an apartment with 4 different people and can't find a toothbrush. I just don't believe it. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's one of my takeaways. Is I'm not so sure I totally bought all the cast in their roles.
Like they didn't have to go that hard on him being like, oh, we have to make sure people know he's a loser. But I'm like,
yeah.
But
not
he's
to
not,
be
and
not to be Grace Randolph in La La Land, but like the rents in New York's a little high for her.
That's why there was like 4 roommates and it was a shitty apartment, but still. No, but for her, that's the thing. She had her own apartment, which was weird for her 80K salary.
Not exactly an 80K salary kind of apartment, but it's the movie.
It's a movie. It's a little heightened.
Movies, baby.
They do those little cutbacks to. I don't want to spoil it completely, but what you see at the beginning of the movie and how they
absolutely
connect it to now and just dating throughout the eras. But
and she's like a perfect casting for that kind of role where she'd be looking at something very caring, not caring, pragmatic, mathematic.
Is this elevated rom-com? Are we?
I was wondering.
Are we in the era of the elevated rom-com now?
I think Friendship is an elevated comedy, so I think Materialists can be an elevated rom-com. Because again, I think Celine has been really big on the whole, like, I feel like sometimes we cheapen movies about romance and love.
No.
So they don't need to be.
Because this is a rom-com. People felt like it wasn't. No, it is.
No, it's
just
funny
that
as hell.
It does it differently. It does elevated,
it differently.
Like a elevated horror.
Mm-hmm.
I'm also okay just calling it a romance that's funny, right? Because it's not
I'm
exactly
okay
like a hysterical Kate Hudson with Matthew McConaughey kind of styled romantic
or even
comedy.
like a Sandra Bullock type thing. But
they kind of try to sell it like that, but it's definitely...
Yeah, to be fair, my screening was filmed. There was an entire row of women in front of me. Just a row of women in front of me at like 4 p.m. on a Thursday. I'm like, shouldn't you be at work?
Same for me. It was jam-packed. They had to do another showing, and the Miley Cyrus doc was out.
Oh, shit.
So the gays had the bathrooms completely packed.
The gays had the bathrooms packed.
They were literally singing Miley in the bathroom. They're like, this is the only time. It's like a sporting event for us. And I'm like... Bro, I could not go to the bathroom during this scene because the fans came out for it, so I'll give them that.
Yeah. No, it's cool.
People have been split with it. You guys are 100% defenders. I've been very surprised. Yes, people are coming at Celine because she got too hot too quick, I guess.
Well, some people also really didn't buy. I think some people thought that the dialogue felt really stilted and awkward at times. Like it wasn't.
I think some people feel what the characters do in this, and they were very awkward that they had the characters actually say it out loud.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. But no, I liked it enough to keep it here.
Exactly, me too. And I think there's a lot of really fascinating things that this movie touches on that people are having very intense reactions to.
Yes.
Which I'm happy to dive into them more when we talk about this movie next week. But I think we all enjoy. I mean, Amanda, I got it on our list. Our honorable mention at least?
Honorable mention. Yeah, so we had a great time with it. Yeah. I stayed through the credits of that bad boy.
Yeah.
Very cool. All right. Yeah. Materials, my number 7. Amanda's number 7. Art, what is your number 7?
All right, bro. This was a movie I told you. I was like, you need to rewatch this because I went to a screening of this and I thought it was absolutely fantastic. Okay. Misericordia. It is on the Criterion Collection right now. And I didn't know what to expect of this because there was one still when I think this may have started off in Tiff or New York. It kind of missed us here in Chicago. And I was like, all right, let's see what this is about. It is a guy who returns home. And he's a baker, and he's looking for these mushrooms. And a murder happens. Let's just say that. So it's now all about hiding this murder. But in hiding the murder, you have to hide everybody else's secrets. I was told that from the Q&A, it was like everybody always wants to do it with everybody else. And they want to do it with you. And at the end, everyone's so nervous, nobody does it with anybody. They all just screw themselves over pretty much. It is shot impeccably well. There are scenes of buildup here in people hiding secrets from each other that I think are very well directed, incredible performances. There's so much nuance in this movie, especially when you rewatch it again and you see what people's motivations were from the beginning, because it's really just a small town, and it just worked for me. I can't wait to rewatch this one. Like I said, it's up on the Criterion.
That was a con premiere. Or was it con? It was at con. Because it's
definitely
French,
worth it.
so,
Definitely
yeah.
worth it. It's very good. I'm curious to know your thought when you catch
Nice.
it.
Excited to check it out.
But I'm placing it right here because we've been discussing a lot of the stuff, especially the interplays between the characters. I want to mention some movies it reminds me of. Zach and I are big fans of these movies that I think we've actually mentioned in our 2015 recaps and such of how these power dynamics work with relationships, like who's there for who, and the whole movie is that. It's very good.
Yeah. No, there's definitely some like Duke of Burgundy echoes here for sure.
Duke of Burgundy. Okay.
It's funny because like I think when I watched it, and we talked about this back when I forget if it was Chicago Fest when you had caught up with it, and we reviewed it on the channel. Yeah. Like when I was first watching it, I was a bit frustrated with it because it's sort of it's taking its time. It's putting the pieces into place, and it feels like this sort of like very heavy drama. Yeah. And at a certain point, it sneakily reveals itself as a comedy. Like the tension just builds and builds until you can't help but laugh at it a little bit. Yeah, like and that's when the movie really like starts to make sense. And it's really that whole last half hour is really, really excellent. Nice. So I want to watch it again, like with that knowledge.
Cool.
Art was on its wavelength faster than I was, I think. Yeah.
It's good. It's good. It's good.
Yeah. All right. So Misericordia, great pick for Art at number 7. Going back to my list, I had the Phoenician Scheme at number 6, which we already talked about. So let's go back to Amanda for her number 6.
Cool. This was my first cheat with Warfare / 28 Years Later because of the Garland crossover. But we talked about 28 Years Later.
Go to the 5.
Warfare is definitely probably one of the more... as Civil War was, contentious movies of the year. If it's one of those ones you take it at face value, it seems in very poor taste. Some of it might be just based on like who's involved in making it and their histories and stuff, but I feel like it is still trying to like toe the line at the end of like these people, these American soldiers can just come into a place, think they're doing something, have it dissolve into a fucking nightmare, and then like people are dying and then they're just gone, and those people are like, okay, cool, we now need to rebuild our homes, rebuild all of this, what the hell is happening? Yep. Like it's just really, I just thought it was really interesting. I love how it's put together. It is a hard watch, obviously, because it's very intense. It feels probably one of the closest. I know before people always used to say that like veterans couldn't make it through Saving Private Ryan because of how real it felt. This has got to be next fucking level because they aren't even trying for a nice story where they're just trying to find some boy and bring him home. It's just like, why the fuck are we here? What's happening? There's no mission. There's nothing.
It almost is an experiment in storytelling and how little character can you actually put into a movie and have it still kind of work, you know, like, and it's very intentional. You know, they are trying to almost have you approach this like a blank slate and just take the actions that you're seeing almost at face value. But it does sort of give the movie a very unique kind of tone.
Just all a reenactment really of what that mission was off of their mission memory.
Or one incident. It was an incident that he was part of, to the point, and then it's very interesting because at the end of the movie, there's the group picture, but half the faces are blurred out because half of them are still Navy operatives or like involved, and like they could get killed or they've technically committed war crimes and don't want to be included in a movie, which is kind of horrific to think about.
That's a big part we talked about too when we had said people were calling it propaganda, and we're like, who is this propaganding to? Like, this is a movie that does not make you want to join the army.
The military, no. At all.
But it is a movie that's respecting the brothership that happens when these people see each other.
That you have to.
Yeah.
You have to kind of create that kind of bond to get through something, and why it becomes such a militant thing.
Now, and that ending you were saying,
when you lie,
without even getting into too many spoilers, many times we see those things as credits, and he's been very adamant, again, with the way he does storytelling. It's always very particular. That the ending of those faces that you do not see is not the credits. It's still the movie.
Yeah, it's still the movie.
I don't even know how that changes something, but he's like very adamant that that is a part of the final scene.
It makes it feel less like a victory lap.
Yeah. So I find all that so fascinating because he talked about like there are moments where like an explosion goes off, right? And they can't hear anything. Yeah. And he goes, we do that same sound effect. The sound design here is next level.
Yes,
but they don't do it that they're like muted. It's that you're so in the moment
that it's just...
You're not hearing the bullets. You're only focusing on something else. And he goes, they interviewed everybody so that the sound design is mimicking where their focus was during every single scene. And I'm like, cool. This is like next level there.
It's crazy.
He's also got a thing for intros, huh?
Yes.
The intro to this one
it's good. It's
very
fun.
different, just like the Teletubbies.
Dude, the Teletubby scene's unparalleled. Best opening to a movie ever. But no, and it makes sense though, because it's kind of this thing that like it's all these like young kids joining a thing, thinking they're doing a cause, mostly just missing out on their frat experience, and this kind of becomes their frat experience.
It becomes their experience that they
except then the next day they're getting blown the fuck up, literally, like, and then abandoned by the people that are supposed to save them, to the point that they have to lie to get extricated from situations.
It's a big part. So I recommended this to some people who have served, and even they were like, yeah, don't recommend this again, bro.
Well, yeah, because it would be too fucking hard to watch. Like, are you fucking kidding me? Like,
it's one of those where I have not seen anyone like call it out for any inaccuracies or stuff like that.
Absolutely.
Just mostly people who, before watching the movie had stuff to say, but it's a tough one.
It's not a movie about American excellence by any stretch of the imagination. It's just like,
it's
literally, it's like, what is the point of any of this, and why do we keep fucking doing it? Like,
crazy project.
Yeah, crazy.
But leaves a big impact for sure. Hard to not like be affected by watching that movie.
Yeah, I had no idea that they sent F-16s down to do fucking like air like woo, to like push people down. I was like, oh man, Call of Duty doesn't even do that shit, and they do everything. But yeah, anyway, that's my number 6.
Yeah,
Warfare and 28 Years Later, the Alex Garland double.
The Alex Garland double feature.
Nice. All right, what do you got at 6?
Yeah, something more light. It's just something to relax. Vulcanizadora,
yeah, just a fun watch about strapping a explosive device to yourself.
Oh my God.
I would say as little as possible about this, other than it's 2 dudes who go out into the forest and you quickly realize what they're trying to do. They're cowards, so they're going this route only to figure out one may be more of a coward than the other. And in rewatching it, it's one of those where you pick up on character interactions way early on, and the first half is insane, and then the second half becomes it's just a fallout of the events that they're leading you up in this like pressure cooker for the first part. It is not for the faint of heart, and it's not even the violence, it's the repercussions that a person has to sit with. If you're a person who's always like full of anxiety and you're like, how am I going to deal with this?
Guilty.
This puts you in that man's perspective, bro. It is uncalled for how like dire it feels towards the end.
Shit.
And it's so effectively done. Dear Lord, I got to give it its credit. Wow. Zach's been talking about this guy a lot.
Yeah.
Knocked out.
Joel Petrakis, I think this dude is such an underrated filmmaker. He's so good at making these films that are about people with various, mental anguish biting off more than they can chew and just having to live with the responsibility of their decisions.
Nice.
This is just like a really great depression movie.
Love it.
Maybe not a great movie for somebody with depression, but a great depression movie.
So are we double featuring this one with Thunderbolts? Like, does that work together?
There you go. A Thunderbolts fan going to this is going to go like,
never mind.
On the count of 3. Like, this goes to the places on the count of 3. Like, I felt.
So, I love that movie. Okay.
And I'm sure he made it for about the catering budget of Thunderbolts.
Yeah, that's fair.
And that's also kind of like what adds to how gritty this thing is.
Yeah. Great pick, Vulcanizadora. That's one of my honorable mentions.
Cool.
Art has it at number 6.
I'll have to check it out.
My number 5, I'm going to guess that this is on both of your lists. I got Sinners. So we can
mine's higher.
Pause on that for now and go to Amanda's number 5.
This is my next cheat. We got a double feature Soderbergh, Presence, and Black Bag. I'm getting away with it because I feel like we've talked about Presence a ton. It's a very unique haunted house movie where the camera is in the perspective of the ghost. Very cool, very tight, like great 80 minutes. Soderbergh's just out here like experimenting with shit. He don't care. It's great.
Ghost is you lurking, and it's I think he controlled it too, no?
He did.
Yeah, he
operated the camera. Yeah, so he's just having fun.
He's the director. Sometimes he's the writer. I don't think he was the writer on that one.
David
he's
Cope
the
wrote both of these.
cinematographer. There we go.
Yeah, Cope wrote both of these, including all. Yeah,
but then he's the
cinematographer. He's the editor.
Editor.
Nobody likes
This is just
Soderbergh.
his like fun little movie. But then we got Black Bag, which was
There we go.
romantic spy type thriller, like anti Mr. and Mrs. Smith or something.
It's something, yeah.
Something, but it worked so well.
I loved it.
Because it's this like crazy like dynamic. You got like Kate Blanchett, who you can't beat, Michael Fassbender.
Should have been in the F1 movie, just saying, but he's retired and he's back to what he does best and he kills it here.
It's true, you're right. But no, it's just this really cool dynamic of this like couple that work for the same intelligence agency. And it's like, it seems like maybe she's doing some things that he's not aware of.
Well, he's got to figure out who the mole is. And maybe it's his wife. Maybe it's somebody else. You know, what's really cool, I think, about this one, other than just how cool Soderbergh shoots and styles everybody in his movies, they took a lot of inspiration, apparently, from Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf for this movie. And it really feels, as much as it is a spy thriller, this is a dinner table movie, right?
Bro.
Like, it is a dinner table movie. Some of the best scenes literally happen at a dinner table.
It's all about the interpersonal dynamics and leaning on each other and who's going to reveal what and who's going to crack under pressure.
And who has what tells that other people already know about that you don't think you have.
Beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
There's a scene where Fassbender finds out that something he did resulted in a consequence he wasn't anticipating, and just reading it on his face is one of the greatest moments in movies this year.
It's so good.
Yeah.
That is so meme-worthy. The movie is fantastic.
It's so meme-worthy. It just needs to pick up more.
There are in-and-out moments with Michael Fassbender where he looks like he just crapped himself that are unbelievable. Like
so good.
The reaction memes. That scene Zach's talking about had me dying.
It's so good.
It's amazing.
Hey, shout out Tom Burke.
Yeah.
Shout out Marissa Abella.
Yeah.
My
the
girl.
Boy,
Great cast.
Renji.
Renee Jean Page.
Suave.
Right?
And then Naomi Harris, who plays
Naomi
like
Harris.
you're saying, it's a dinner table, but even, her therapy sessions or people like coming into
Dude,
meetings
that shit was
and stuff.
crazy.
Or the lie detector stuff, right?
Oh,
Like
it's so good. This is an adult movie. It pitches itself as like what happens when two spies are, one of them is cheating, and then everything else that comes with that. This is my number 4, by the way. So
nice. Okay, cool.
No,
it's so good.
I also have Black Bag at number 4 on my list.
Let's go. Okay, perfect.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing to not like. And the thing is, I was thinking about it, and I really love Black Bag, but I also really love Presence, and I'm not sure, like, there's so many qualities to that one that I don't know if I can pick one or the other. So I, like you, Amanda, I tied them at number 4.
You got to tie them because it's so cool. And Soderbergh does not waste your time.
You know what? Actually, I'm going to...
No, it's our turn now, Art. It's our turn to do the ties. And the thing I appreciate about Soderbergh, unlike us, he doesn't waste your time. It's like he knows how to get in. He knows how to get out. He's going to keep it tight. It's perfect. The man clearly does not have a lot of sentimentality for like deeper things. It's like what needs to happen happens, and if it doesn't fit, he clearly does not care about just trimming it.
And he's got another movie set to premiere at TIFF later this year.
I know, and this is his retirement. It's crazy. Post-retirement, he's just like, I'm gonna do everything. It's gonna be fun, and I don't care.
He's so fucking cool.
He's so cool.
All right. Black Bag, Amanda's number 5, my number 4, Art's number 4. Also, Presence, throw that in there. I think we're at Art's number 5.
I think it's going to be higher for y'all since we're counting it fresh off. It's out now. Sorry, baby.
Yeah, way higher for me.
Yep.
So, wait on that one.
Come back.
We will come back to that. Art's got Sorry Baby at 4. I just said I had Black Bag at 4 on my list. So
no, Art's 5. Sorry Baby is Art's 5. Sorry.
My
Baby's 4 is going to be higher, I think, is Sinners. So we'll wait.
Right. We'll get to that for when it gets to Art's list. Art
so
said
now we're
his
back to
4
your
is Black
3.
Bag. Back to my 3. Before we get to my number 3, do we want to throw out any honorable mentions? Stuff that just missed the cut for our lists?
I got a lot of those.
Shoot.
Amanda.
Yeah, we'll start with Sharp Corner, which was one I caught recently. It kind of like, it's Ben Foster, and he's kind of got the humor of a Tim Robinson, where he basically...
a comedy?
Yes, that's the thing. It's a comedy drama, but it's basically like this family moves into a house that's on this very sharp turn, and then like the first night they're there, a huge fucking accident happens. and he gets obsessed with it. And it's just the way that he delivers lines feels like Tim Robinson. Because at first you're like, is this bad acting? Oh no, it's a comedy. They're doing the bit on purpose. And his wife is like Kobe Smulders, so it's just crazy. Yeah, you're set. But it's like the way he gets obsessed. They're having like a dinner, and he's all like, "Pretty crazy thing happened on our front yard. Really brutal." And like, just the wife wants him to shut up so hard, but he can't stop. It's like, love it when a guy has a story to tell. So it just has this interesting vibe, and it just kind of like really goes further and further about like how far that obsession drives him, and then like starts ruining his family, his whole life around it. So got to mention that one. One that I caught at TIFF a couple years ago now, which wasn't perfect, but I thought was really interesting, was Seven Veils, starring Amanda Seyfried.
Oh, right.
Very interesting kind of like opera movie where she's directing something, but it's kind of weaving into something that would have happened in her time as like somebody in an opera, and how that kind of affected her life and things that happened to her with her family. And it gets pretty trippy, pretty cool. Like, I'm not gonna invoke Black Swan, but it has some of those vibes where things are just very kind of heightened and weird.
A more muted version of it,
yes.
But I see the comparison for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Then, Zach, some of these were already mentioned. Mickey 17, Thunderbolts. I gotta mention Life of Chuck, the latest with Mike Flanagan, based on the story by Stephen King. And you can't really get a better pairing than Stephen King and Mike Flanagan. Different approach, though. Definitely worth checking out. Then I gotta mention the Raka Raka Talk to Me Boys follow-up with Bring Her Back. The craziest indication of why we should pay more attention to the foster care system. Some crazy resurrection stuff. Sally Hawkins just like acting her ass off here.
She's
great
so
performances
adorable
around
to be that creepy.
Yeah, I know. That's why it
like
works so well. That's why it's extra creepy. Her taking those constant jabs at Andy. Yeah. I was like, dude, this is crazy. This is like the level of emotional abuse going on here is like like genuine gaslighting. Everybody likes to say gaslighting. It doesn't mean, no, this is genuine gaslighting in this movie.
Not nearly as much fun as Talk to Me, but maybe even more depraved.
It's more depraved. I think I still think Talk to Me is meaner in terms of its conclusion. Not to give any spoilers. It's just what Talk to Me commits to. Yeah. Some people make it out clean and Bring Her Back. It's just as abysmal and miserable.
It's pretty bad.
It's they're doing things. They understand it, and I love that for them. Then I got to throw in Final Destination 6. I thought it was honestly, I kind of forgot about it. Maybe it should even be in my 10, but it's just fun. That is a fun horror movie. It's a great return to the franchise that should have just been dead in the water. I do think the final act is not that great, but then the actual end of the movie is so good that I'm like, cool, that's fun again. I'm back on board. It is definitely the ultimate expression of like how many items can we work into a Rube Goldberg machine and set it off in a way that feels unique and interesting. It's just been getting more complicated every time, but this one, like, they really honed it in, and it's perfect. It's very fun. And then I'm going to throw a little bit of love to Companion. It was one of the earlier ones I saw this year and just kind of remembered recently. Great Sophie Thatcher performance, great Jack Quaid performance. Again, I think it could have gone harder on those themes of like what they're trying to say about like incel culture and like male loneliness and all that. But I appreciated what they were trying to do. Think it might have been better with like maybe a female writer and director kind of pair going on there. Might have had a little bit more to say in certain areas for what it was trying to be, but still good. Solid movie.
Nice.
So that's mine.
I have Pavements, which you already mentioned, Amanda, on my honorable mentions, as well as Vulcanizadora, which Art thankfully mentioned.
Gotta check that.
As far as documentaries, I wanted to throw out some love to Grand Theft Hamlet, which came out earlier this year. Really interesting film that takes place within the world of Grand Theft Auto Online, as some guys try to stage a creation of Hamlet during COVID lockdowns. It's emotional and ridiculous. A movie that we caught at the festival circuit that is another one of those films that's sort of just got a vibe that gets under your skin and leaves a weird impression. Dead Mail, I think, is finally available for people to catch up with.
I didn't know that came out. Nice.
Yeah, a really interesting, twisty, turny thriller of sorts that has a very cool cinematography to it as well. Might show up in Art's list, but I'll throw some love Eephus's way, the baseball hangout movie that our guy, Taylor J. Williams, did some camera work on. I love that hat.
Gotta catch it still. Forgot about it. Ugh.
I'll throw a little love to Andrew On's film The Wedding Banquet, which Amanda and I argued about plenty, but I found it to be quite delightful and very funny with a really, really charming cast.
You're lucky it's officially July, Zach, or I'd be invoking the homophobia card again.
Just made it in the clear.
You're in the clear, sir.
You're in the clear.
And then I almost put Mission Impossible Final Reckoning on my list.
Oh, yeah.
I know
that
a
is
lot
a
of
movie
people
that came out this
were
year.
underwhelmed with it. I had a really good time. I don't know. I think it's got a couple of the most like heart in your throat sequences you'll probably see in a movie all year.
Nice.
And a really just fun, breezy script too. It worked for me. I didn't find it nearly as much of a slog as I think some people did.
Nice.
Always enjoy my time watching Tom Cruise try to kill himself on camera.
As one does.
Yeah. Art, any honorables?
Yeah, from my documentaries, all the ones you had mentioned, I'm throwing Ladies and Gentlemen, 50 Years of SNL Music, which may have been the one to have breaking my top 10 off of that montage alone. Zach, you got to see just the intro. Saw the entire 2 hours of this thing. It is one of the best documentaries in the way that it's edited, but also just talking about all the music that came in through SNL and like the idea of having such a monolith of like power and access that if anybody comes on your show, it puts them onto this next level. I thought that was very good. There was that
Our guy
Avicii
Questlove.
Questlove with two directorial debuts this year.
Yeah, I think you're right.
That's
Questlove did Sly and he did the SNL movie.
So I got them doubled up right here, both on Disney. I think that you can watch them on or Hulu. Actually, no, it was Peacock. SNL was Peacock.
Oh, yeah. No, not Peacock.
Ladies and Gentlemen, 50 Years of SNL Music. I got the Sly Lives one. Swamp Dogg gets his pool painted. Oh, yeah. It's just a hangout movie. Also in the music realm, as they're talking about this guy and the influence that he's had. A lot of music here, I guess, because the Avicii doc, I'm Tim, I thought was incredible. That got me towards the end as well, as he's talking about like also the burden that he had on creating this stuff and getting booed for songs that get played at every damn game nowadays. Sally, it's out on Disney Plus now. I feel like that's going to be a biopic
we caught that at
very
Sundance.
Soon. And then Deaf President Now, out on Apple TV Plus.
Nice.
Wrapping up
Another
my
Sundance
documentaries along with the ones that these guys mentioned as well. But in terms of movies, keeping it pretty simple. My Dead Friend Zoe we caught 2 years ago. That's out now. And I feel like,
2 years ago.
Yeah, that one was really solid as well. Maybe a good double feature with Warfare.
Maybe.
Different
kind
of.
One's more propaganda-y for sure.
Definitely.
Yeah.
The Ugly Stepsister was one that I caught at Sundance earlier this year. It should be out on Shudder now, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, I think it's a really good flip on that story by not following Cinderella, but following The Ugly Stepsister and what they're willing to go through to get that shoe to fit. Girl with the Needle, I guess, counts for this year because I saw it like deep into
2 or 3 years ago.
It's one of those movies that had like an awards qualifying run last year, but wasn't really widely available until this year.
Yeah, that thing is wild. So put that there, and that's pretty much it. Cool. April, which was really demented. Yeah, that is out.
Oh yeah, April. Yeah.
You guys had mentioned Presents. I have another one that's my number 11 that I think is going to be higher in your guys' list, but Magazine Dreams. I did not include this one because I have not seen the new cut of it. I don't know what they changed. If we were saying 2, this was what, 3 years ago?
3 years ago? This was 2021 or 2022.
2022.
No, I think this was pre-pandemic. I swear. I think this movie came out in 1999 at this point. Look, I think...
We know for sure it's a new cut?
I have no idea what it is. I just haven't seen it since then. So I'm keeping it here as an honorable mention that probably would have broken my top 10 easily, especially because I think how demented the movie is.
It's so demented.
Is now even leveled up even more considering everything that happened because he's almost like the character.
Oh, yeah. It was when he walked on stage for the Q&A. I was like, I don't know how much he was acting. Exactly. You can go back to our reviews. I said that. I'm like, I don't know how much he was acting.
So those would be mine right there.
Nice.
Nice.
So
Great
into
picks.
the top 3.
Yeah, let's do it. I'll start us off with a movie that Art already mentioned. My number 3 is On Becoming a Guinea Fowl.
Nice.
A really interesting film that was doing the festival circuit a bit last year, and A24 put out earlier this year from Rungano Nyoni. I think this is a Zambian film that's a co-production between Zambia and the U.S. A very, very fascinating movie in the way that it sort of evolves and reveals itself, because it sort of begins in this kind of like quirky family comedy that almost reminded me in some ways of like Shiva Baby, because there's all the sort of cultural peculiarities about how like a middle-class Zambian family navigates grief and the funereal process.
Yeah, the rituals you have to go through, the traditions.
Oh,
and
the rituals,
stuff.
yeah. Nice.
Exactly, right? And also how that sort of clashes with modernity in its own way, because they're going through these rituals that have been in place for generations and generations, and then taking breaks and pulling out cell phones, right? So it's got a little bit of that like cultural comedy awkwardness to it. But then as it sort of reveals more about itself, there's this very like open wound at the center that is driving the action and really sort of animating everybody. And the way in which it sort of talks about the generational differences between ideas approaching, responsibility around trauma, the way it also approaches just how families ultimately try to protect the family in a way, and nice. that weird sort of the weird things that do go unspoken and don't go unspoken within a family dynamic. I found it all to be really fascinating, aggravating in some ways, but really interesting in metaphorically as well. It's got some symbolism that's really powerful, particularly towards the end. I thought it was like a really strong film, and one that I'm hoping people don't forget about as the year progresses.
Nice.
And people give it a chance too.
Yeah.
Yeah, really, really strong movie. Glad Art also had it on his list on Becoming a Guinea Fowl. Hope people will check this one out. Amanda, what do you got at number 3?
I got Friendship.
Nice. I got this at number 2 on my list.
Okay, we can wait.
11.
No, let's talk about it now.
We'll talk about it now?
Yeah.
It's so funny, man. I swear, every time I see this, I pick up new things. Like, it was hilarious the first time, and then the second round is when you realize how smart so much of it is.
Yeah.
And, like, what it's doing. We were joking earlier about elevated rom-com. I made a joke in my video saying that Friendship is basically like the elevated comedy equivalent of what A24 was doing with horror movies. This is shot so much better than it needs to be. There are lines of this and delivery I'm going to remember forever, like, she's in the sewer. Like, I guess at this point we've talked about it so much, but for those who don't know, it's basically Tim Robinson, I think you should leave vibes.
Yeah.
The best way to describe it I've found is, honestly, it's like you take Tim Robinson and you drop him into an A24 drama.
Yeah.
Family drama. And he's mostly weird, but every once in a while he's not the weirdest person.
Right.
Somehow.
Right.
But yeah, somehow you have moments where it's like, I'm actually on your side now. I don't understand what's happening. But
well, it is in its own weird way, even though it is a comedy. And we've had some comments from people who are like, this movie's about nothing. And I'd encourage you to maybe look at it a little more closely, because it is really about a lot of things.
So much.
But what if it was about nothing?
Yeah, what wasn't it about? I'm sorry,
right?
like male connection, male friendship.
It is though, like, what is wrong with men, is the main thing,
what is wrong
right?
with
like,
men is the point.
What is going on here? Because like I think it's really smart in the way it kind of acutely diagnoses this sort of stilted way that people interact, especially in a modern era where I think a lot of people's social skills are very underdeveloped in the internet age, where we're all used to just being able to look at our phones. And there's this whole element to the way Tim Robinson goes throughout the world where it's like you just don't have a lot of experience talking to people. You just don't know how to navigate these situations. And I find it to be really hysterical. I can see how watching this movie might be like torture for a certain kind of person.
There is one scene where I'm like, oh God, what's he gonna do? What's gonna happen? No.
This was a straight shot right at my funny bone. I thought this was hysterical.
It was hilarious. Both times I saw it in a theater, I was lucky that it was a film festival setting, but I don't care. It was great. It was riotous, and it was still fun at home rewatching it alone while I was making my video. I think it's really interesting. It has, in my opinion, the funniest drug trip scene I've ever seen in a movie. Potentially one of the only ones I actually really enjoy.
Yeah.
Tim
Funniest
Robbins.
coffee scene, bro.
Funniest coffee
I laughed
scene.
way
Tim
too hard
Robinson
at 11
being
o'clock in the morning at that.
fucking moron. Just like,
so
you know?
funny.
It's so dumb.
Just, yeah. And you're just kind of like watching this, like, basically like extreme narcissist snap. And like I said, when I say that there's a moment where you think that it might be Paul Rudd's character who's going to be the weirdo, like, you know that there's like, they've done something when it's like, clearly Tim Robinson's going to be the fucking weirdo. But it's like, it is just so interesting that this is a person that on paper has everything that someone should want. He's got a wife, he's got a kid, he's got a nice house, he's got a good job, but he doesn't appreciate any of it or really see any of it and doesn't even notice the fact. It's like the whole movie, his wife is talking about this firefighter named Devin, and every time he's just like, who? Like, he doesn't even, his head is so far up his own ass, he doesn't even realize that he should be worried about this thing. Like, you're expecting him to be this huge abusive asshole about it, but it's like he doesn't even realize there's a threat. It's like crazy how much he can only see what's right in front of him. And then like this Austin guy comes in to show him this whole other world where he's like, I can be the cool guy too. Mm-hmm. I don't know. It's great. I love it. It's hilarious.
One of my favorite lines from it is one of the interviews they did in Night Vision. I don't know if you guys saw that.
Oh,
yes.
Why not? Just do it in freaking Night Vision.
Why not?
It's not even from the movie, but the idea that they asked Paul Rudd, like, what is the basis of a friendship? And it's the idea that too many friendships nowadays are because they're bonding over something they hate.
Yes. Yeah.
You know? And it's to have a friendship
video,
where you're bonding over something you love instead. And that is the internet, like Zach was bringing up.
Yeah.
So many people don't know how to talk to each other, but they also only converse over things they dislike, not over things they do like. So that's why we make the top 10 video twice in a year to let y'all know what the good stuff is. Mm-hmm. But no. I'm looking forward to, again, it's my 11. It was right there. It was literally just skirting it. I could tie it so that we could say it's all three, you know.
That's fine.
But I'm excited to rewatch it at home again.
Yeah.
Nice.
It's a good one.
All right, Friendship. Amanda's got it at 3. I got it at 2. Art has it at 11. Honorable mention, but we all approve of Tim Robinson's antics. And we've got more. We've talked about this movie a couple times on the channel already, so you can check out more of our thoughts elsewhere. Amanda, you've got your video on it too.
I do. So. I have an entire video. Please watch it.
Yeah. Nice.
With the hat.
All right.
With
It was a good hat? Good hat?
It's a great hat. It's a great hat. Yeah. Good call.
Art, what do you have at number 3 on your list?
Eephus, baby.
Eephus. Nice.
We are in baseball season, as y'all know. I got the jersey back here for my boy.
I'm sorry. I only care about the Savannah Bananas.
Signed and everything. Bro, the Savannah Bananas were just in town.
Let's fucking go. They were.
Try to get a ticket to that.
You can't. You can't.
It's a hot ticket.
Even like 2 years ago, I was like, well, I'm going to let's get a ticket to that, you know?
Big supporter of the banana, but the Savannah Bananas. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise.
The banana balls.
No, they're great. But Eephus is everything a baseball movie should be and more.
Nice.
It is about life. It is about all those things. I sent y'all the poster right there. I've been spamming Zach with this one. I love this poster of the pitch because that's what the movie's about. And Eephus' pitch is like a pitch that is all of the encompassing pitches into one. It feels like it's fast. It's a curve. It then just stays there. It's like a Looney Tune. It pauses and then it hits you. And that's not just the game of baseball that starts and then all of a sudden it picks up and then it ends. That's also life. There are so many little nuances in this movie from both teams. I've been calling it's like the Sandlot all grown up when they're on their final game because it's the final game that's going to happen in this field before they tear it down.
Very cool.
So it's like they never want it to end. I think it's a beautiful movie. It's a very patient movie. And it's one of my favorite movies of the year thus far. I hope people give it a chance.
Gotta catch up.
Yeah. Really, really excellent pick. Oh, the Blu-ray.
Sick. Fuck yeah.
And it is packed. Who'd you just mention? Our boy, Taylor?
Taylor.
His game is in here. So I need to see, because he said he did a play. They recorded the whole game. It's out
my God.
in the special
I love
features.
That.
Nice.
So
we'll have to talk to him about it once we get that footage. All right. Eephus, great pick at number 3. I think we're back to my number 2, which was Friendship.
Cool.
So, Amanda, what do you have a 2 on your list?
My number 2 is Sorry, Baby.
That is my number 1.
Cool. Do we want to hold off till number 1? We'll do it?
Or I guess, you're right. Hold on.
Yeah, I guess we'll hold off for it. Art, what do you got number 2 on your list then?
The Ballad of Wallis Island.
That's my number one.
Oh. These two have just been competing, yeah.
Yeah, Wallis is my number 1.
Oh, wait.
So let's start with Ballad of Wallis Island, and then we'll go to Sorry Baby.
Sure. Art saw this first at Sundance and was like, because I feel like we looked at the poster, and then the only thing that you were like, oh, it's Carey Mulligan, maybe it'll be good. Yeah. It doesn't sound like it should be good.
It's in our preview. We said it's either going to be the Mulligan movie or what's his name with the feathers. I'm like, there's something. One of these is going to be the bad one. And we all put our chips on the feather.
Cumberbatch. Yeah, Cumberbatch.
Yeah,
and then
the thing with feathers.
No.
It was not good.
You guys saw it and said it wasn't good, and I skipped it.
I was like, bro, this is so mid. I feel bad even dismissing it because someone's going to connect to this movie.
I am so glad that Wallis Island delivered.
Nowhere Ballad, yeah.
Another movie that just kind of makes you feel happy to be alive. Yeah, literally, Art managed to secure us all shirts. I love that shirt. I love this shirt. Goddamn, it's soft as hell.
It's
nice
so
as hell.
Comfortable. I just keep telling them they're coming back on tour. People don't know the difference. They think it's real.
They don't. It's so fun. I did actually have somebody come up to me at a bar being like, "Oh, you're a fan of them too?" And I was like,
bro, right? They go like, "Oh, I have that same one." No, you don't. I got to see them too. No, you did not.
You don't.
They were not touring then.
You should know, but you don't know.
You should know, but you don't know. It's on Peacock though, so they should know.
Yeah, it's on Peacock. This is basically, it's just like this nice little story about this musician who gets invited to this tiny little island to do a small show, and then realizes that it's just this one guy who hired him, who was a huge fan of his old musical duo, and then turns out that are now split and haven't talked to each other in at least a decade.
Yeah.
And turns out he's also invited her.
Yeah.
And her boyfriend husband thing. So it's a very interesting dynamic there of like how much of that connection is their time making the music, how much of the connection is them learning to have to kind of like move past things and just, I don't know. It's just shockingly beautiful. And like, again, Charles is like that Charles character.
Out of nowhere.
He's the kind of character that you could be like, oh my God, he could be the worst. But it's like they do a very good job making him annoying to that main character, but not to us. He's annoying to her, but he's not to us. He's lovable to us. And the deeper it gets on his story, the more you're like, oh my God, this is so beautifully tragic. And this man is just still such a ray of joy.
I love this movie. What you shared with somebody once you lose them. Can you rekindle that magic again? Yeah. And even more so from the creative side, if the music that they made came from a point in time that they no longer share that love, can you bounce back into that? Can you recreate it?
Can you get back into that headspace? Can you make that same magic?
The music is also solid.
That's what I mean.
You got Carey Mulligan, who's married to Marcus Mumford. She's bringing in her chops that she had in Inside Llewyn Davis. There's just so much beauty in this. The relationships in this tiny island as well. It's beautifully shot. It's very funny, and it's very heartwarming. I felt.
That's the thing about it too. It's probably the loveliest movie that we've mentioned because we've mentioned funnier movies and stuff like that, but even the comedies have some existential angst to them. Yeah. This is just like a warm hug of a movie.
Yeah,
if that's the thing that you need, it really will provide it.
Warm hug on this cold island, you know? God.
Hope people catch it. It's out now.
So good. It's out now. Check it out.
All right. Ballad of Wallis Island, Art's number 2, Amanda's number 1. Amanda's number 2 was my number 1, though. Let's talk a little bit about Sorry Baby, the debut film from Ava Victor, which we caught back at Sundance, a movie about what happens to Agnes and how Agnes deals with it. And
or doesn't deal with it.
And, it's one of these... I think in like broad strokes, it's not very unfamiliar. This is a personal, dramatic comedy, which takes a lot of inspiration from real life, and feels very slice of life. It's about this person's relationship with their friends, with their past, trying to navigate romance. But it's just so charming and sweet and true in its observational moments. Yeah. I think it's also just a lot more artful than you're expecting for how funny it is
comedian?
too. Right, exactly. Because it has these sequences that just really speak so strong through visuals.
Yes.
I was just really, really struck by this movie and how thoughtfully it's put together, how funny and charming it is, but how deeply I felt it.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. And without really spoiling anything, there is something that normally I would feel the need to give a strong content warning about. Like, what is the thing that happened that she has been ignoring and is left with the crux of the story, the thing that's left her kind of like stuck, even though she's technically progressing, she's still very stuck. Mm-hmm. She Crazy wanted editing, to make sure that was shot in a way that anybody who had experienced that kind of trauma would be able to watch this movie without being re-traumatized. So still making it very obvious that something happened by just basically having a shot of a house and showing that time passed, but that doesn't actually show anything at all. So you wouldn't have to worry about watching this and being like, I wish I could watch this, but I can't watch someone go through that. You never see her go through anything.
13 Reasons Why. Like, you don't need to show 13 the thing that you don't want to. Yeah.
You don't need to. You can get the point across in a lot of other ways. I just think it's so haunting. Beautiful. It is more haunting. It's more haunting, and it's very chilling when you realize what's happening. But then again, you're not seeing anything, so you don't have to take yourself out of the movie to protect yourself. You can just be there and then watch how it goes from that. And the friendship she has in that movie is just so genuinely beautiful, and it deals with the way that other people judge her or judging her, and her friend is just there as the support system of being like, you don't understand. And then you find out that one of the other girls kind of had something similar, but in a different attitude towards it, and how that messes her up, being like, well, maybe I am over, like,
it's the lovely version of friendship. Like, when someone is actually there for you. It is the living version of friendship. When someone's actually there for you and has that lifelong connection, but also knows when to be like, I can't support you through this anymore. I'm always going to be here for you, but you need to, like, deal with this. Yeah. Shout out Naomi Ackie.
Yeah, Naomi Ackie saying I could not. Oh my gosh, she's fantastic.
Lucas Hedges, too.
Lucas Hedges.
You know how much that takes?
Back in a big way.
Yeah, back in a big way. I kind of proved why he hasn't been in a lot of movies the second he stepped on stage at Sundance, though, when he said, like, man, normally I wouldn't care about something like this, but the script was so good.
Yeah, that's him, like, bro. That's Lucas.
Are you fucking kidding me? You haven't been in anything. Timmy started running laps around you after Lady Bird. Acting whatever's offered to you. But no, it's really hauntingly beautiful movie that's ultimately very, very, very uplifting, and it should probably be my number one. But I've got to rewatch a bunch of these is my thing.
You'll get another chance later in the year.
I will.
This one's out limited right now. Shout out John Carroll Lynch, who I feel they put a little bit too much of his scene into the trailer, but how the hell could you not, considering how great that scene is?
Oh, yeah. Oh, that one. Yeah, true. Yeah. That was so good.
But I love the way that it's
such a great moment in the movie.
That scene is what's selling a lot of people on watching the movie, so I guess I'm okay with them having put it in the trailer.
Yeah, that's what marketing is.
So...
I get it for marketing purposes, but it is such a nice moment when
this
you
don't. This is why you guys need to go to Sundance, bro. Like, I don't know what you guys are doing, waiting for theatrical releases. Like, drop.
Yeah.
Well, this one was virtual too, so it actually was one of the
no excuses.
To get.
Yeah, no excuses.
I know Zach had this as a top pick in a preview, so what 25 still, whatever it is, you don't need the travel expenses to have caught one of the best.
No,
early
it was
on.
good.
Yeah. And you mentioned that it just came out in New York and LA. I'm really thankful for it because I was struggling to get some movies here in my list. So I'm glad I could squeeze this one into the number one spot.
Absolutely.
You did not need to wait to squeeze something into your number one spot for you. Art. Sinners takes the top spot for you. I had it at 5. Amanda had it at 4. But what is it about the latest from Ryan Coogler that made it the best movie you saw so far this year?
The love and passion that he has for a big blockbuster movie. It is unlike anything else that you've seen. You know, the 25-year deal thing. They had asked him right now for Ironheart, are you getting the same deal for that? And he goes, those aren't my characters.
Yeah.
It's the same thing applies. Yeah, why would I take something that's been around since the 60s? The reason I asked for it for mine was because those characters on screen aren't just characters. His aunt, family. It's his family. Yeah. His aunt was named Sam. That's why you got Sammy. It's based off of his uncle. It's based off of his family from Chicago, from the Mississippi, from the Delta area. And then beyond that, it's just it's the reason why it was your opening quote, man. It is the smoothest, slickest film. It is just cool. It was originally titled, what they call it, grilled cheese. When can you have something that is so comforting, but can also be intellectual, can also be talking about not just, the outsiders who want to take your stories and stuff like that, and it's not just about gentrification or Hollywood taking your ideas or racism and all these different things. It's the idea about what happens when you sell out your own. The music that they have in this movie was never sold. No. The idea of selling yourself out comes with the idea of having music that people had for free, and one person decides, well, what if I monetize this?
Yeah,
the idea of exchanging money for something that was free is the beginning of selling out.
Yeah.
So this whole idea of when do you sell your soul and stuff, it's like that. They sold the soul of the community in making it something like that. There's so much backstory to this. It's one of those movies where you're like, I'm good if it's just this, but come on, if you got the rights for 25 years, I need to know what those hunters were doing. I need to know what the follow-up was. Give me a miniseries up in Chicago.
That's the
it's so cool.
It is. It's just so cool and steeped in culture. And even what you're saying from like the selling out, some of that ties in like the song that the Irish vampires are playing when Haley goes out to talk to them. When Mary goes out to talk to them, and the song they're singing is like, it's a very contentious, it's technically started as a Scottish poem, which got turned into a folklore thing, which someone in Ireland picked up, but then one guy in Ireland recorded it, and he's technically linked to like the expanded lyrics, but they don't know if he was the original.
He's not the original
writer
one.
of those writers. And technically it was recorded after the events of this movie would have happened, but no one actually knows. And even Rocky Road to Dublin has been around for so long and iterated and changed in so many ways.
Who ends up owning it? Yeah.
Who owns it? Who owns this thing? Because even from the like, they actually have the original recording of the I always forget her name, but the Wiley Geechee was the one of the songs they sing. They have like the original recording from like all the way back then, and it's kind of like, it is technically linked to her as being the writer, but there is a chance that she was not the original writer of that story, and it was just like a song, sung amongst slaves to work their way through things. It's
then someone takes the profits.
Crazy. I just love that this is a movie that he originally set out being like, I just want to make like a cool vampire movie in the south of Mississippi with black people, because I think that would be cool. But then the more he learned about the region, the more he learned about the music, the deeper he had to make it, so that you don't see a vampire for 40 minutes of the movie, and then you don't actually get to the climax of the horror for like an hour.
Vampires are like my third favorite thing in the movie. That's
exactly it. The vampires are the third favorite thing.
I just want to see Delroy Lindo talk.
I know. It's what they stand for. It's what everything stands for. And like,
exactly. And that's why it's so good, because you could bring in so many different things to it. I mean, the craziest part of Sinners is when people go like, well, let me hear out Remick. I actually see the proposal he's going, and I just go, yeah, I know, you would have opened the door. You're not surviving. That's all you're telling me.
Well, that's
of
what I mean.
Course it's enticing.
It's enticing for so many reasons, because he's someone who lost things in a similar way hundreds of years earlier. And now he's trying to find that same community, but he's trying to find that same community in the same way the community was taken from him.
What a
the
hell
same
of a
way
story to tell now.
Yeah.
To repeat the things that have happened to you back. It's
back at you.
Yeah.
Especially trying to offer it as an option. Like, look, these people are gonna fuck you no matter what. At least the way I'm doing it is I'm offering you a community.
Right.
You won't have free thoughts, but it's
How
a community.
Enticing. Yeah.
Especially like, there are so many vampire stories. Like, this is not exactly fresh terrain, yet Coogler's still finding some untouched grass within this world. It's pretty incredible, and speaks to his qualities as a storyteller, especially a storyteller in this medium of blockbusters. He just knows how to tell these kinds of stories that deserve that kind of treatment, that feel as epic as moments of this film do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you were saying, him going to the South was him realizing, like, I went all the way to Wakanda, Africa. I did all of this backstory, and I just skipped over this. I was like, this is where they were.
This is the story.
And this is that story.
Yeah.
And no, it's crazy. Even, his roommate was Ludwig.
Yeah,
and
Ludwig
he said
Göransson.
the only reason Ludwig became this big composer was because his dad back in Sweden used to listen to the blues. The exact same people that they're honoring in this movie.
Yeah.
So when he brought his dad to the South to go film the movie, a Swedish old man was crying, and that's what got Ryan to be like, oh, this is way bigger than just...
This means something.
Yeah.
This means something. It's not just this music that I thought my uncle listened to that was lame. It actually means something, and through the music, I can feel connected to my history, to someone I lost, to someone I love. Yeah. And, like, Ludwig clearly had a lot of care for how he built every era of music into this past, present, and future, and then they brought in a lot of other black collaborators to work on it.
And his wife also being on the strings for this, the way they play with that.
It's crazy how much detail is going into this movie. The class of
really
religion.
Interesting.
Oh my God, yeah.
A lot of people are like, yeah, that it's putting it down. No, it's praising it. No, it's putting it down. And I was like, y'all don't get that. It's the middle of it. Just
what
like they are sinners.
That, and it literally includes hoodoo, a religion that was taken from people once they got put into slavery, and they're using it in a way that isn't like, ooh, there's hoodoo, things are going to get creepy. No, it's like, it's for protection, and it actually works. And then it really is really honing on that idea of how like Christianity can be like a weight on your neck. Used to enslave
people, yeah.
Used to enslave people. And
thinking that you're giving
all
them
the way
freedom,
from fucking Ireland to the black communities of the South.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
It's one of those where the more you rewatch it, I just pick up on different things, but it's one of those like you put this one on and just the score, the visuals, and I mean Michael B. Jordan, probably the suavest he's ever been playing two characters. Just he's oozing it. Everybody else, Haley Steinfeld, Miles Canton coming in as a newbie, hell of a voice. Jack O'Connell. The fact that your boy for 28 years is telling everybody, because Danny Boyle loves spoiling his movies. He's going, I got the guy from Sinners. He comes out. It's very little, but he's in my movie.
He's
Go
in
watch
it. He's going to be in it a lot. Yeah, then Wunmi Mosaku really stole the show.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Jamie Lawson,
God.
just
hot as hell.
Stacked,
just incredible woman.
Cornbread?
In that. Cornbread? Oh, my God.
It's a movie that's going to age well.
You cared when some of these people had
It feels like it's been in the culture already, and it hasn't been a year. It has not been a year. So,
it's crazy, but I agree. I would do anything to get a movie or a mini series about like the Aboriginal vampire hunters. Nate, give me the native. I want them. I want that so bad.
There's so many details there.
So bad.
It'd be so cool. It would be so cool.
But Sinners. Hopefully people caught it in IMAX. That is one that I would love to revisit. You know, now that everyone does $5 throwbacks. Let's build these IMAX theaters. When you guys don't think there's anything to show, I promise you have so many films.
Will get money.
Yeah,
Sinners will get money.
All the Nolan movies. There's a lot. There's a lot out there.
Yeah. No, they had kicked Sinners out of the IMAX in Lincoln Square here in New York City. And I think... For Thunderbolts. And I think after a week, they put Sinners back in, and it was sold out all over again. People were craving it.
Because it's actually not just filmed in IMAX, it's filmed for IMAX. It's different.
Exactly.
It's really different,
Yeah.
All right. So Sinners, Art's number 1, Ballad of Wallis Island, Amanda's number 1, Sorry Baby, my number 1. A lot of great movies that we talked about, not just our number ones. Let's do a quick recap, actually, of our lists. And I'll start us off. I've got Secret Mall Apartment, the documentary, at number 10 on my list of the best movies of the year so far. The latest sci-fi from Bong Joon-ho, Mickey 17, makes number 9 on my list. I got 28 Years Later at number 8, Materialists at number 7, The Phoenician Scheme at number 6, Sinners at 5, Black Bag and Presents tied for number 4, On Becoming a Guinea Fowl at number 3, Friendship at number 2, and my number 1 movie of the year so far is Sorry Baby from Ava Victor.
My 10 is starting with Phoenician Scheme. Then we got A Normal Family, which is a Korean take on a book that's been adapted a few times, but I strongly recommend it. Then we've got the hybrid doc Pavements. Then I'm going with Celine Song's Materialists. Tied for number 6 is Warfare and 28 Years Later, the Alex Garland double. Then I've got the Soderbergh double with Presence and Black Bag at number 5. And then my top 4 that could be very interchangeable gets us Sinners. Number 3 is Friendship. Number 2 is Sorry Baby. And then finally Ballad of Wallis Island, that warm hug of a movie.
I'm starting off with my 3-way tie, just coming in right here. Flight Risk, a Minecraft movie, tying in there at number 10 with Thunderbolts. One of the best Marvel movies. I felt that was just very refreshing to see a character piece. We had talked about in our festival previews, all of these people were working on different festival movies, and they all came together to make one big Marvel movie that they pitched as an A24 epic, and it was great. F1. See it in IMAX, see it in 40X, see it in Dolby, just freaking see it in a theater. It's what it's meant for. It's cliche, but it's everything that you want from Top Gun on wheels. I'm Becoming a Guinea Fowl. A very singular voice. We've been talking about how it could be quirky, how it's like a lot of other things, but it is very much its own voice. I'm very curious to see what this director does next, because in here, it's got an ending that left a lot of people wanting, especially with how deep they go in the film. But I think that is not only the purpose of what you have to sit with, but it is also kind of extending an arm out for the people who have gone through what happens in this movie. Misericordia, a movie about everybody wanting to do everybody, and then they don't do nothing. And like Zach said, if you go into this knowing that it's supposed to be more funny than tense, oh, you're going to have a tensely funny time. It is fantastic. Check this out. It's on the Criterion Collection right now. What happens when you need to be forgiven of your sins? But you got more sins. Vulcanizadora, I don't know if I can recommend this to everybody. If you are on heart medications, probably not. As I said, if you are depressed, probably not. For everybody else, also probably not. It is a very messed up movie. But I have to give it its props because, boy, did it make my hands have not been as sweaty between this and a Warfare. And then in the top 5, Sorry Baby, like Zach had mentioned, one of the best of the year, a very singular voice coming from Twitter comedian.
Twitter comedian
coming out. Incredible. And doing something very profound, I felt. Black Bag, my preferred Soderbergh of the year. What happens when two spies are maybe cheating on each other, but they're never cheating on their business. That's a fact. Eephus, my favorite sports movie, I guess, so far this year. Beautiful film that really encompasses not only the sport of baseball, but how that relates to life. The Ballad of Wallis Island, a beautiful musical. We have to have this discussion on musicals, too, by the way. Because people were talking that Sinners was a musical as well.
Zach would say yes, I think.
I know Zach's opinion for sure, but this is for another discussion. I think we have to evolve musical the same way we've evolved the mixtape. But Fair. I digress. Ballad of Wallis Island, beautiful music, and an even better story about the love you create around the love of music. And then Sinners. That's Sinners, bro. I gotta say anything else. Y'all already know.
It's undeniable.
His video on where to watch it through Kodak, I think, might even be on the top 5.
Yeah, I think so, kind of.
But great movies. Right. I don't know. This is a hell of a year. I'm always pretty optimistic when it comes to movies. Even if all of these change, I think this is a really good list to give to people from all of us around. And it's going to get even better. I think we mentioned a lot of the festival ones coming out. It's going to get even better.
It's going to get better in a hurry. A lot of movies I'm really looking forward to talking about for the rest of the year. And a lot of movies
wait till they watch Omaha. They don't even know about Omaha.
True, they don't know about Omaha.
Just wait until everybody is sobbing in our comments. Anyway,
yeah, God.
I think that's about all for this episode. Yeah. Our show theme is Green Lightning by Cal Sendry. Thanks so much to them for letting us use it. And find out more of their music at the link in our episode description. You can catch more from me, Zach Shevich, by following me on Twitter, Instagram, or Letterboxd at Zshevich. That's ZSHEV as in Vulcanizadora, ICH. And my YouTube videos are available wherever you find videos at Multiplex Show. Amanda, you made videos for a couple of the movies that you featured in your list. You got a friendship video. You got a Sinners video.
I've got Friendship. I've got Sinners. And then other than the
Any
kind of
more
like the
good movies coming up or...
Yeah, maybe. I'm definitely doing Together. Definitely covering Together.
There we go.
We'll be covering Lurker once that becomes a thing. Maybe Sorry Baby. We'll have to see. But pretty solid year from 28 years later. I covered that one too with a full video with the 28 period of time laters. Solid. Yeah, 28 inches. Solid year. Thunderbolts.
Bro,
Thunderbolts. I got a video on.
First of all, that is a ridiculous statement. 28 inches. It is centimeters.
I know.
It's centimeters clears, bro.
Yeah, centimeters clear.
They're in the UK.
Final Destination. Yeah, Final Destination. Yeah, lots of videos on these that I've mentioned if you want a deeper dive. And then obviously we've covered pretty much all of these in our festival wrap-up stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, solid year for movies. And you can find those videos on YouTube at Amanda the Jedi. And you can find me all over the place because Google AI thinks I'm a Letterboxd reviewer. So you should follow me there too.
Nice. Arturo, I don't think you've covered any of these movies on your channel.
None of them.
Are you covering a good movie sometime soon?
I think I might cover Flight Risk. To start off with, nice and light, and then just
nothing but the best.
Go up to Warfare and then take it from there. I'm cutting up something for F1 right now, so that's probably gonna be the first one coming back, and then tackling a bunch of the other ones. Hoping to also recap, maybe do a live stream listing a lot of these picks that we've mentioned throughout festival stuff as well over at LME Movies, where I'll be practicing my knuckle curve as I get up there with the Eephus pitch.
Hit him with the Eephus.
Easily.
The Eephus.
But you can catch me always here on the Intercut podcast.
You can listen to every episode of the Intercut podcast on iTunes, Spotify, whatever your favorite podcatcher is. I use Overcast. And then make sure you subscribe not just to the audio feed, but to the video feed as well on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/intercutpod, where you can watch our tired faces. It's been a couple days for us here as we go through the latest in entertainment. Find new episodes of Intercut every Monday, and please leave us a comment, like the videos, consider heading over to iTunes to give us that much requested 5-star review. You can do those on Spotify as well. And shout out to our listeners in the US and Canada for putting us on the film review podcast charts.
Let's go.
Like our Facebook, our Instagram, our Twitter, our X, our Letterboxd, our TikTok, whatever. At Intercut Pod is the place where you can find updates from all of us and all the guests that we feature here on the show throughout the week. You can check out the link to our Discord in the description for this episode, and you can support the show on YouTube or on Patreon for as little as $3 a month. Thanks again for tuning in, and until next time, myself, I feel very safe.
That's a good one, bro. I love that.
That's a great
line.
one. That was such a good one.